Right, thanks very much. They've asked me to get up. I've written a few poems in my time. They've asked me to get up and do a poem tonight, which is a bit weird, really, kind of going to do like this. It's quite a long poem, and given the demographic in the room, it's a 50th birthday party. If anyone needs to get up halfway through, I'll understand. I wrote this poem last week. Frank doesn't know. This is a poem for Frank, and it's called Being Frank. And here we go. The first two lines actually are pinched from a thing called Albert and the Lion, so some people might recognise that. There's a seaside place called Blackpool that's full of fresh air and fun. It was here that a young Sadie Robinson gave birth to a bouncing new son. Francis, she called him, after his dad, although Frank's his grown-up name. Chubby and cuddly with a funny nose, and even today he's the same. He was actually born in Cleveley's, some miles removed from the tower, but the biggest thrill there on a Saturday night is when the town clock strikes the hour. When still quite young, tragedy struck. This next bit will make Frank wince. He fell deeply in love with Blackpool FC. They've been breaking his heart ever since. He joined the Barmy Tangerine Army. With a passion he followed his team. From Rochdale to Scunthorpe, from Wigan to Crewe, Frank was living the dream. But lucky for him, life wasn't all gloom as his team let in goal after goal. After goal, after goal, after goal, after goal, after goal, after goal, after goal. No, it wasn't all gloom for this Lancashire lad as his team let in goal after goal. For when he was 10, he went to a gig and discovered rock and roll. He saw a vision that changed his life, Rod Stewart to be precise. His love of music just blossomed and grew like that song about Edelweiss. He sprouted pimples and pubic hair, then worked as a DJ one summer. And rock and roll Frank, with his dashing good looks, set his heart on becoming an accountant. He said to his family, I need to move on. I'm an angry young man in a hurry. He packed up his bags bound for Kingston Town, not the one in Jamaica, but Surrey. But Frank was too wild, too young and too free. Frank was too wild, too young and too free to be cabin cribbed and confined by the same old columns of figures each day. He had loftier things on his mind. With nowhere to turn, he sought spiritual help. He went to see a clairvoyant. Pensions, she said, that's the future for you. So he became a civil servant. For several years more, our young hero Frank led a life full of ambiguities. A rebel by night, carousing and drunk. By day, he processed annuities. He had to break free from this stifling life, see the world's multifarious nations, so he fled to the airport, intent on escape, but got stopped by immigration. Aha, thought Frank, there's a thought. That's a job I could do. Decent pay, working abroad. I quite like the uniform too. He spent his days in relentless pursuit of many a foreign intruder, trying to sneak over here with their non-British ways from Bali, Bahrain and Bermuda. Our man was happy, contented with life in a Zimmerman sort of way, blowing in the wind like a rolling stone, freewheeling through each day. Then in '93, his foundations were shook, his old world turned topsy-turvy. He fell head on heels for this girl called Bev, blonde and moderately curvy. Bevity Bev, he'd simper each night. My angel, my Bevity boo. I'd give away all my Neil Young's LPs if I could be married to you. With his pleading eyes and boyish good looks, how could any woman resist? He popped the question and Bev said yes. It helped that both were pissed. Now, when people get married, life can slow down. Man and wife have to readjust. Not Bev and Frank, the silver-heeled pair. They'd not sated their wanderlust. They'd leap on a plane at the drop of a hat. Around the globe they raced. Frank was in heaven with Bev close behind, broadening their minds and their waists. But now he's 50, he's all mature, his hair's getting greyer and thinner. Poodling each weekend down at the market to find something tasty for dinner. Or hunkering down to listen to sounds, laid back on his favourite settee. But with 2,000 albums to choose from, rather him than me. And so, Mr. Robinson, here's to you. Though this dog row has been pretty poor, it's time to raise a glass and say, here's to Frank, and 50 years more.